Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking with William, where today we're going to be making some creamy pasta with chicken. Alright, if we're going to be making creamy pasta with chicken, the first thing we have to make is chicken. I'm going to be using chicken breast for this recipe, but feel free to use chicken thighs if you'd like, whatever your preference is. We're going to go ahead and get these seasoned with some kosher salt as well as black pepper. We're also going to add a couple spices. I like to use garlic powder as well as any herbs of your choice. In this case, I'm using basil and rosemary. Feel free to switch these seasonings up, but make sure you pat them in well, and as always with any sort of meat, season both sides. I like to do this at the very beginning of the recipe so I can give it time to sit while I start cooking the bacon. Go ahead and add a quarter to a half pound of bacon, depending on how much you like bacon, to a cold skillet and then turn the heat up to medium-low. Keep stirring the bacon constantly until it starts to get nice and golden brown. Starting the bacon in a cold pan and then slowly cooking it like this is the best way to get it nice and evenly cooked. Go ahead and drain that on a paper towel and then keep the bacon grease because we are going to use it to sear our chicken. It's best to do this in batches of about 2 chicken breasts at a time. Simply place them in the skillet and then flip them often until both sides get nice and crispy. If the herbs and spices start to burn, turn down the heat, but your goal is to just get a nice sear. You don't need to cook it all the way through, because we are going to add it to a wire-lined baking sheet and throw it in an oven at around 350 until the internals reach 165 degrees. Now, what's left over in your pan is not only bacon grease, it is also chicken fond. This is delicious stuff and you should never throw it away. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it out and set it aside so we can use it in our next step, which is Brussels sprouts. I've made Brussels sprouts multiple times on this channel, so I'm going to just quickly go through it. Basically, for each Brussels sprout, you want to cut off the small woody base and then chop them in half so you can expose a lot of the surface area. Once you have all of them chopped up in a bowl, you're just going to want to pour in that bacon grease that we saved, as well as a little bit more olive oil, just to make sure there's enough oil to coat all of the Brussels sprouts. Make sure you liberally season with kosher salt and fresh cracked pepper, as well as any other flavors you might like to add. I added some garlic powder and some red pepper flakes. Lemon also goes very well on Brussels sprouts, so I added a little bit before stirring it up with my hands and making sure each sprout is coated with the oil spice mixture. Once you've coated them, go ahead and pour it onto a rimmed baking sheet and then spread them out, trying to make sure that most of the sprouts are cut side down. This gives you the most surface area for browning. Throw that in an oven at 425 while we melt some butter for our sauce. Once the butter is fully melted, we're going to want to throw in a few cloves of chopped garlic as well as a few shakes of red pepper flakes. Once that starts to get fragrant and you can smell it, just go ahead and add some noodles that you have cooked according to the package instructions, maybe a little bit less if you like it more al dente. Go ahead and toss those noodles to get them covered in the oil garlic mixture before adding a few tablespoons of sour cream as well as a large grating of fresh Parmesan cheese. The sour cream is a great way to add creaminess to the sauce without having to worry about whether you get a perfect emulsification. Always taste your pasta and then season to taste. I am going to add some more fresh Parmesan as well as some herbs, some basil in this case, and a little bit more salt. Go ahead and toss it together one more time, and if it's seasoned to perfection, it is time to add the bacon that we cooked up earlier. The salty, fatty bacon plays really well with the tangy sour cream sauce that we created with the pasta. Go ahead and toss everything together one last time so we can start plating up. Start by laying out a bed of the pasta. I like to do this because it helps keep the chicken or whatever protein you have warm after you slice it. Make sure you get plenty of bacon so no one feels left out. Next to that, we can add our roasted Brussels sprouts. Make sure you get plenty, and then we can top the pasta with our sliced chicken breast. You could also just throw the whole chicken breast on top of there, but either way, you have creamy pasta with herb chicken. I like to top it with a little bit of freshly shaved Parmesan, and then you can serve. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for blowing up that ratatouille video and getting me to 100 subscribers. Let me know in the comments what I should cook next. Thank you.